Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 1. In the book 1 Corinthians, Paul explains to Christians that he does not want them to be ignorant when it comes to spiritual gifts. So let's go over them in this video. Number 1. Administration. The ability to help lead the church or ministry toward the completion of God-given goals, with skills in planning, organization, and supervision. Aaron, Moses' brother, used his administration gift to detail the Israelites' departure from Egypt to the Promised Land. Joseph also shows his gift of administration in Genesis chapter 39 verse 6, when Potiphar gives him responsibility over everything he owns. Number 2. Apostle. A person sent to new places with the gospel. An apostle can also provide leadership to other churches by offering advice on spiritual matters. You may be familiar with the 12 disciples. These disciples were also called the 12 apostles. The term disciple refers to a follower or learner, while apostle means one who is sent out. The apostles of Jesus were Matthew, Thomas, Simon, Peter, Thaddeus, James, Judas, Andrew, John, Philip, Bartholomew, and James. Number 3. Discernment. The wisdom to recognize truth from untruth by evaluating whether a behavior or teaching is from God or an ungodly source. In 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 9, King Solomon prayed for discernment to effectively lead his nation. Number 4. Evangelism. The ability to successfully communicate the message of the gospel, especially to non-believers. Mary Magdalene witnessed the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and was considered the first evangelist when she spread the word to the 12 apostles. We also have the 4 evangelists Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the authors known for the creation of the 4 canonical gospel accounts. Number 5. Exhortation. The ability to offer encouragement, comfort, and support to help them be who God needs them to be. Barnabas had many gifts, but his most dominant one was his gift of exhortation, bringing courage to others while having courage himself. Number 6. Faith. People with great confidence in the power of God that they stand strong in their belief, no matter what is thrown at them. Abraham is often called the father of faith for his obedience to God, when he left his country and his father's home by faith to seek the heavenly city of God. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 8. Number 7. Giving. People with this gift are willing to give whatever resources they have with joy without seeking anything in return. The poor widow mentioned in Mark 12:41-44 offered her 2 copper coins at the temple. Jesus says, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. This is because others gave out their wealth, while she gave out of her poverty." Number 8. Healing. The ability to restore others physically, emotionally, mentally or spiritually. Jesus was able to heal the sick, blind, and deaf, and raise the dead. Prophet Elisha healed Naaman, the leper and commander of the army of Syria in 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 1-27. Number 9. Helps. A person who can assist members of the body of Christ so that they may minister to others. Mary Magdalene not only followed Jesus, but she also provided resources for the disciples from her belongings. Number 10. Hospitality. The ability to make people, including strangers, feel welcome in one's own home as a means to disciple or serve them. Rebekah welcomed Abraham's senior servant in her home and cared for him and his camels in Genesis chapter 24. Number 11. Knowledge. Someone with this gift actively pursues knowledge of the Bible and enjoys analyzing biblical data. Solomon asked God for an understanding mind and the ability to discern the difference between good and evil. Number 12. Leadership. Those with this gift can stand before a church and direct the body with care and attention, motivating them toward achieving the church's goal. Jesus, Moses, and Daniel are all great examples of leaders in the Bible. Number 13. Mercy. The trait of a person with great sensitivity for those who are suffering. Those with this gift have a love for giving help to those in need. There are many people in the Bible with the gift of mercy, such as Apostle John, who took care of Jesus' mother, Mary, when he died on the cross. Number 14. Prophecy. The ability to speak the message of God through others. This involves visions of things to come. This should only be used to offer encouragement or warning. Isaiah, Miriam, Elijah, Moses, Deborah, Abraham and David are just a few of the prophets mentioned throughout the Bible. Number 15. Serving. A gift for identifying tasks needed for the body of Christ and using the available resources to get the job done. Tabitha, also known as Dorcas, used her talent of sewing to serve others in Acts 9:36 through 42. Number 16. Speaking in tongues. The supernatural ability to speak another language that you haven't learned. Matthew, John, Peter, James, and Jude all spoke in tongues. The Bible states that anyone who speaks in tongue does not speak to men, but to God. Number 17. Interpretation of tongues. The ability to translate tongues. First Corinthians chapter 14 verse 27 through 28 says, "If anyone speaks in a tongue, 2, or at the most 3, should speak, 1 at a time, and someone must interpret. If there is no interpreter, the speaker should keep quiet in the church and speak to himself and to God." Number 18. Teaching. The skill to teach from the Bible and communicate it effectively for the understanding and spiritual growth of others. Moses was called by God to teach, and we can see a great example of this in Exodus chapter 18 verse 20. And lastly, number 19. Wisdom. The gift of being able to sort through facts and data to discover what needs to be done for the church. When Solomon became king of Israel, God appeared to him in a dream and asked him what he wanted. Solomon asked for wisdom so that he could effectively lead his people. We use these gifts to guide each other to the kingdom of heaven, So it is important to know your spiritual gift and use it accordingly. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and God bless.